Well, Foreign Minister Marise Payne has told China it expects basic standards of justice for detained Australian journalist Cheng Lei. Today marks 1 year since she was secretly taken into detention. Let's go to our Washington correspondent, Annalise Nielsen. Annalise, Cheng Lei, a former colleague of yours, can you tell us a bit more about the response to the 1 year anniversary of her detention?
Yeah, Pete, this has been a pretty momentous day for former colleagues of Cheng Lei. We've kept quiet for a very long time, worried about potentially making anything worse in her situation, but it became pretty evident just a few months ago when we were hearing details of how desperate her situation was that we needed to do more. And so this is where we've come together today, along with international journalism bodies from around the world, including the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., the International Federation of Journalists, the Committee to Protect Journalists, have all called for the freedom of Cheng Lei. Now, she's been detained for over a year. We don't really have details about exactly why she was detained, and many of our best guesses are just that she was at the wrong place at the wrong time. But we all support her as a good journalist, a good person, and we're all worried about her two young children in Melbourne. They haven't seen their mum for over a year. They haven't had any contact with her. And it's a really upsetting situation for the family, and they're front and centre of why we've chosen to speak now. Now, the Foreign Minister has made several statements over the last year about the detention of Cheng Lei, and she came out with a particularly strong statement today. In it, she said, "We are particularly concerned that 1 year into her detention, there remains a lack of transparency about the reasons for Ms Cheng's detention. We expect basic standards of justice, procedural fairness and humane treatment to be met in accordance with international norms."
I often think that it's a bit like Yang Hengjun, the other Australian in detention in China at the moment, being used as political pawns, it would seem, given the political climate at the moment between Australia and China. But where exactly is Cheng's case at the moment, Annalise, and what do you think her prospects are?
Yeah, as sad as Yang Hengjun's case is, it is quite a different set of circumstances, and that's why we've seen persistent campaigning from the government on behalf of Australians detained overseas. With Cheng Lei's case, the real difficulty is we still have no detail about exactly what she's supposed to be accused of. The charge that she's been arrested under now after that 6 months of initial detention is still very vague, and it has a really broad range of potential penalties. It can be from pretty minor administrative penalties right up until 10 years detention. So we won't know much more until there is a trial. We still have no idea when that trial will be, and we have no idea what they're going to even really accuse her of in any kind of specific detail. And that's what we've heard the Foreign Minister again today say, that there does need to be some procedural fairness in this, and we need those details because this is an awful time, especially, as I said before, for her family. She's a single mother, so those children are now with the grandmother, and that's a really awful situation for them. That's why we're choosing to speak out now.
It really is. Well done, and well done to your work at the moment too. As always, Annalise Nielsen, appreciate that. We'll talk to you again soon.